Hello and welcome back. Let's check out this video. Morbid Angel. It's a death metal band. I've never heard the band before. I chose this song to watch. It's kind of sounding like black metal. What's that effect? It's like a filter effect on his voice. Flanger. You know, the music I like, the guitars and the drums and everything. And when I listen to this, I just start thinking like we could tune the guitars back up to standard tuning and see what this music really sounds like from a compositional standpoint. Now the vocals, gotta be honest with you, there's something about this like vocal warble where people go really deep register and throaty and start like playing around with like, you know, vocal warbling is what I'll call it. It makes me feel uneasy a little bit, and that's why I don't like it. Post Malone does the same thing. And yet we will persist. The way it's mixed, I like the way it's mixed. I mean, it's kind of funny. Like, looking at disturbing imagery is one thing, but that kind of just looked like a dude dressed up as like I was going to say Dobby, but is it Dobby from Lord of the Rings? No. Who's Schmeagol? Schmeagol eating like they just bought some cake from a cake shop and then like tried to make it look like, I don't know. Yeah, it's Schmeagol. Kind of like that guitar having the green pickups on it, or the humbuckers. Actually, I guess that would be like two single coils grouped together. That makes a humbucker, though, doesn't it? Ooh, I like that fading out on the guitar solo. Kirk Hammett action. I guess that was pretty cool. I was able to handle it. I didn't walk out of the theater before the movie ended. What's the guy from Lord of the Rings name, though? It's not Dobie or Schmeagol. I got that wrong. I'm going to look it up. Hold on. Let's see. Lord of the Rings. Dobie? Oh, yeah. Oh, Gollum. Gotcha. It was Gollum. All right. Morbid Angel, Tampa, Florida, 1983. I'm looking at their Wikipedia page now. I guess they say top 40 greatest death metal albums, Terrorizer. Related acts. They've been described as one of the most influential and emulated bands in death metal, alongside Obituary Death, Cynic, Autopsy, and Deicide. I mean, musically, I like that. I just didn't like the vocals that much. Some of the vocals, as I was listening, though, it looks like they applied that, what I call the filter effect, that I'm guessing is a flanger. It was applied for, like, I don't know, 75% of the vocals, but you could hear that there were some stretches where it was just clean. So I would have preferred a clean vocal throughout. And, I guess that just goes back to my sort of like preference for clean recordings with less effects applied to everything, but that's just my preference. Yeah, so the other thing I guess the imagery there was fine. I mean, I sat through Thomas Erak's Adrenochrome, which was like pretty disturbing, but that wasn't overly disturbing to me. I just don't really, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of like horror that tries to be scary. I don't like scary movies, basically. Although I do kind of enjoy like campy horror kind of stuff. Well, I like The Cramps, which is kind of like psychobilly. So it's like they have a camp horror fixation, not like an actual like gothic, like really like trying to scare you horror type of thing. So let's read a little bit more about this group, Morbid Angel. In the early stages of their career, the band developed a reputation for gruesome stage antics. Yeah, see, that's like, I don't like gore, basically. But now we're just getting into like my personal preference on what I don't like to watch. And that video wasn't really that bad. We saw blood pouring out of a guy's mouth, flies eating a guy's face, Gollum eating that cake, which was supposed to be, I guess, like a rotting flesh or something. It wasn't too bad. Let's see what else we got about Morbid Angel. Toured for nearly 2 years in support of Altars of Madness. Reunion with David Vincent. They got a pretty current members. What about past members? I always like to look at that. How many studio albums they've put out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 studio albums. And it looks like their third album sold over 100,000 copies, which is pretty good. In fact, just the other day, I read through an old like draft that I wrote up. I was on Bandcamp years ago. I sold an album for $10 retail to my bank account, $7.93. Now, factoring in the fact that if I made above a certain amount, I'd have to pay taxes on it. I gave myself 40% going back to the government. How many units would I have to move at $10 a pop retail on Bandcamp to become a Bandcamp millionaire? The answer is 213,000 albums. So when you sell 153K like Morbid Angel did of their album Covenant in 1993, I mean, retail price of an album back then was probably higher than $10. So I don't know if they got $1 million out of it or not. I'm guessing the record label. Well, let's look at the album. The label was Giant Studio. Giant Records, Swedish label owned by Warner Music Sweden. Yeah, so major label's not going to pay out crazy amount of money. But it's interesting also, like, I guess the death metal explosion in Florida that occurred in the mid to late 80s, early 90s, there was actually a major label kind of swoop in where they signed death metal acts. I was not alive. Well, I'm born in 1988, so I missed the experience of heavy metal entering the mainstream and becoming, 80s metal cliche, but it was popularized where, like, high school metalheads and everything. That was already kind of done by the time I was old enough to kind of realize what was going on. By my time, we were on to Limp Bizkit and Korn and rap metal, unfortunately, or new metal, which I guess I do enjoy some new metal. So it's aged well. The original new metal, in my opinion, has aged terribly, but bands like Deftones have some interesting music, I guess. I do like Korn, Untouchables. But yeah, Morbid Angel. I don't think I will be returning to Morbid Angel, but to listen. But maybe if you have a recommendation of something that's more recorded, dry, vocal. I don't like the vocal warble effect at all. Kind of like it's like when you hear someone sneeze in public, and then you start, like, you feel the effect of it. Like, it has an effect on you. It's like everything affects you in your environment. So, like, hearing that even, like, makes my voice feel like, I don't want to hear that. So that's just my take. Anyway, if you enjoyed the reaction, hit the like button, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.